This is Juliet here at Healing Water Sanctuary, and it's lovely that you're here to join us this evening. I'm here with Brigitte Antelme, and we were just about to start the call, and she had an urgent telephone call, so she's slightly delayed, and she will be with us in a moment. So it's lovely to be here. And we were just talking about what we were going to talk about today. So there's Brigitte back. Hi, Brigitte.
Hello, beautiful
you just had your call, and so we had to go live because we were scheduled to go live.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's my sister checking how I was.
Oh.
Did I need her to come? So I said, no, I was a bit infectious right now. She'd be better staying.
So we're live, and Brigitte.
I can't see anyone. Oh, yes, Jack is coming as usual. You're so faithful, Jack.
So you've been a bit poorly this week, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm doing a big cleansing. I've been engaging in some of those healing videos that go free. You clear up the brain, you clear up the whatever. There's different videos. So I've been doing those, and it's really working. On top of that.
Okay. How is videos helping you? Is it?
Well, I was doing the clearing of the fog, the brain fog. So it's, and as well, I've been doing a lot of drinking a lot of juice, a lot of liquid. And I was with this little one who was really unwell 10 days ago. And as well, on the meeting, I was with someone who had been smoking.
Okay, so just a second, lovely Brigitte. We have Therese here.
Oh, hello, beautiful Therese, and hello, Jack.
We have Jack.
Oh, hello, Julie.
And we have
Julie. So Julie is the beautiful woman from America who gifted for the tractor.
Thank you so much, Julie. That's amazing. I was really astounded. It's incredible. So I hope you get a chance to come and visit and try the tractor out. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So,
well, Julie is dealing with huge land where she is.
Well, you have lots of land as well. And we have Debbie here.
Hello, beautiful Debbie. Thank you. You feel blessed to contribute. That's so generous. Thank you so much. Debbie is saying I can't see you on Facebook, though.
Yeah, I'm just checking what's going on.
Juliet is checking. So I just want to apologize because I wasn't going to come today because I've got a really runny nose. So I've started a deep, deep cleansing process. And yes, but it's all good.
Can we be seen now on Facebook?
Are you okay, Brigitte? You don't sound the same.
Oh. You don't sound exactly the same, Brigitte. So.
Okay, I'm going to mute myself because I'm going to blow my nose. So sorry.
So Brigitte, you don't sound exactly the same, and you're doing a little bit of nose blowing. So that's all good. It's all cleansing. So can everybody see us now on Facebook? Yes, that's wonderful. And LinkedIn. Hello, if anybody is there on LinkedIn, I did invite some people, but I'm not sure if you are. And
Yes, it's wonderful because the month of December is a really powerful month, the month of the heart. The energies of the earth, and having put the seed in the earth last week, I'm doing a huge amount of watering and grief releasing at very deep level. Yeah.
So the lungs are very much about grief, aren't they?
It's the lungs and it's the heart as well, because we've just moved into, in Chinese medicine, we've just moved into the heart. So yeah, I've been feeling tremendous amount of grief, although I'm not engaging with it in the story. I've experienced huge amount of grief over the last, I think, all my life, but much more so in the last 2 years, as I've been witnessing the elders leaving this planet and what's been rolling out. Yes, and knowing what was rolling out. I think this is where the grief has been sitting in me,
Yeah,
because I have known.
as long as I've known you, Brigitte, you've had like this this knowledge around
Yeah,
not just what happened in the last war, because you were born on the end of the last war, but also this sense of like this thing that's coming forward.
yeah, yeah. I've had some tremendous transmissions, and I've had to hold that.
which has been really difficult for you because it's hard to communicate that to people who are not having that awareness.
You can't. So in a way, it was my field of service, just to hold it and bring it now, and see everything unfolding. So holding, yes, invert whatever that trauma that's been
Yeah.
perpetrated,
So
and that's, yeah.
I'm really curious whether anyone here has had a similar experience, that since your childhood, have you had a kind of knowing, or either in the form of dreams, premonitions, or a sense like there's either that there's more to life than what I'm seeing, or that there's something challenging that's unfolding that we have to prepare for. Has any of you had that kind of experience? I know you had a lot of dreams, didn't you, Brigitte?
Sorry.
It came to you in visions and dreams, didn't it?
Yes, yes, some very powerful dreams that, and it was the dreams of unfolding in the future. It was like I've got the capacity to read in the other timeline, and what do you do with that? So, but because I was born at a very crucial time, and I've said that before, you know, and this is not about me today. This is about really, we're moving into the time of peace. Yes, it is a time of unfolding. And at the same time, it's interesting because we're going deeper into the earth, Pachamama, and we really are having to feel and to sense each other. And we're going to need to feel and sense each other for the next 10, 20, 30 years,
So
because of the amount of trauma that's just taken place at every level.
yeah, that's that's
You know,
a huge thing. Just before we move into that, Teresa said yes, definitely. She's always had a sense of something. Could you explain a little bit more about that, Therese? And Jack says he always felt he didn't belong here. And is it Marie Sullivan? Is it Marie or
no, it's Julie.
Oh,
And
Julie.
Julie, always you
Okay.
first remember that connection on the land and a strong attachment to the ancestors. Yes.
Yes.
And who else?
And she says it's wonderful to hear you talk about you. It feels like grace. Oh, yeah.
Well,
There's that grief and that sense of knowing that since you're little, and it's like something that you can't share with people, and there is like, where do we go forward from here? It's like there's been this incredible collective trauma that we were born into, and then how does that impact us, and how do we live our lives given that we're in a collective trauma and we don't know about it? And now it's just everything is coming to the surface, and like And that in itself is very traumatizing. What's been happening over the last 2 years is massively traumatizing. And yet, are we moving forward into a brighter future? I'd be interested to know how people feel about that. Is the light winning, if you like, that? Are we moving into better times? Is there like more consciousness evolving in humanity? Is our consciousness going higher? Will it have a happy outcome? Or are we going to go down this dark, this dark dystopian nightmare kind of path?
Hello, beautiful John.
So we've got some answers here, but just would like to hear from people. Where do you think it's going to from here?
So just hold on. Therese said it dawned on me around 18 that life cannot be limited to the rat race that we are living. Wow, that's very profound, Therese. Yeah.
John's here as well. John says, I feel much more positive than I did this time last year. Yeah, I do as well. How about you?
That's interesting. As we started with Juliet, we were saying, we're just moving right now towards midwinter, towards the seeds we've planted, towards watering those seeds. And normally we would be gathering around a fire in a circle. We'd be creating some sacred vessels. And some of us are doing that. Some of us are already joining in different... Sorry.
Juliet, sorry, but you have to excuse us, everybody that's watching. Brigitte and I go back a long way, and we're always bumping into each other with our conversations. So we have a fun way of related, don't we? We're like a pair of puppies almost.
Yeah, we've gone through we've gone through a huge amount together, but our love goes very, very deep. And I really love you, beautiful woman. When I love someone, my love goes to the end of the planet.
Oh, bless you. I'm so touched by your love. Yeah.
So yes, John, so many great people on our side. Yes. And the beautiful thing today, I had 3 men from Algeria. He came in with his mask. I said, you don't need to wear it, but you can wear it if you feel you want to. And he said, well, I had 1,000 fine. Well, Orange had 1,000 fines, so now he has to wear it. The 3 of them were from Algeria, the mountain.
Orange, yes.
And you know what was beautiful is none of them go with they know that it's all unfolding. So we ended up talking and ended up offering them a box of chocolate when they left.
Oh, you're very generous.
It was just so lovely to have these 3 men, because they've been uprooted. They've lost their roots. So it was really lovely there was no racism. They were just equal. They were saying tu to me, like, tu vas bien, rather than holding the separation.
Yeah, you have that in French, don't you? In English, we don't have that language thing, but if somebody says to you and they don't know you, that's either that's very rude or it indicates something.
Julie said, yes, I believe the consciousness of humanity is being elevated. However, I'm not sure if that is increasing in a smaller amount of individuals or if more people are getting consciousness. I feel more people are being awakened because I think they've rolled out everything out of their inverted matrix, black hat, Joker, dark side. Yes.
People have gone through so much, haven't they?
Yeah, because a lot of people are suffering. We've all had to move into a heart.
Yeah, and it's interesting that there's always 2 sides to these things. So there's the terrible, what's happening is unthinkable. The unthinkable as a genocide going on. So how can I sit here lightly and say that? But that is happening as well. And on the other side of that, when people go through great suffering, sometimes they come out of it having shifted something. It's like somebody, part of our group this week, was very, very ill for a very intense short period of time. And when she came through that, it's like something had actually been taken away from her that she'd been holding her entire life. And it's like, when I heard her speak, she sounded different. It's like, you feels like you're much more here, that you've had something lifted from you. And she said, yes, that's exactly how I feel, that there's something that was kind of shut down in me, that had been shut down ever since my early childhood, and it's gone. And I have more capacity. It's like now I've more fully arrived here. So I'm wondering if people, everyone who's listening here, whether you've had a similar experience, if you've been touched by difficulty or illness, how has it affected? Sharon's here. Hi, Sharon. Yeah.
Beautiful Taurian woman.
Yeah.
So Jack says the wheels are coming off their bus. I don't think it's a bus they're driving, Jack. I think it's one of those highly expensive, super duper, not only car, but submarine and all sorts of things.
Yeah. So what's the silver lining that you've had, or what experience have you had through these dark things that have been happening, either through illness or feeling very distressed about something else? Do you feel like there's been a growth, a kind of growth in consciousness yourself, or a lifting of a place where you were shut down, or do you find like you've got more of a voice now, that you've got more courage to put your needs forward or to speak out about injustice? What's changed for you through this time?
Julie is saying the most difficult times in my life have gifted me the greatest increase in my capacity.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah,
that makes total sense.
Yeah. So what about everyone else here? And also, people who listen to this video later who aren't on this call, just asking you to kind of reflect on that. What shifted for you in this process that we've been going through as a collective, as humanity, where you've been challenged in terms of your family, falling out with family members, or perhaps getting ill either through the whatever it is that we've been targeted with, or the injections. If you've been through any of those things, how have you felt when you've come through it? Do you have like a shift in consciousness at all?
Well, I can hear from Therese. Therese, you're finding you're asserting your boundaries. That's really resonates with me. Because when I walk in a shop now, I just don't wear a mask. And if somebody says you have to wear your mask, I said, I'll wait outside on the pavement. And here is my order. And you know that it's illegal to not serve me. So it's where are our rights, in a way. This is what we're being asked. I'm sorry about the sound of my voice, but I'm absolutely congested. And it was either I didn't come today or I came, and you accept me as I am.
We accept you as you are, Brigitte.
I am accepting myself as I am, because what I'm engaging with is so profound. And
so Debbie says, I believe change has to be inner, and then the outer changes automatically. Once the inner change is reflected with all its power of knowing who we really are, then things cannot carry on. Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is the evolutionary process that the whole of humanity has to go through, that that we're getting challenged. We're really getting questioned. It's like, are we going to accept the lies, the deceptions, the status quo? Are we going to accept all those stories that have been rolled out through the media, through, we've been programmed in so many ways, absolutely so many ways. Are we going to accept it, or are we going to question it? And as we question it, does that then shift our consciousness as we go through? It's hard just to question straight out. It's like you might go through years and years of inner process before you get to the point when you can question. But when you finally get to that point of actually getting a sense of yourself and the rightness of who you are and putting yourself forward and saying, I do not believe in this, or this is who I am, this is what I believe in, this is what I want for my life, do things start to change for you? And as we all are doing that, then humanity is changing. And it has a backwards and a forwards effect, or kind of multi-leveled effect, because once one thing changes in this very intricate, complex, interconnected system of humanity, then everything else has to change. It's like how we're affecting someone else. When we change, that immediately changes them. Yeah, so we're doing our work inside rather than trying to change things on the outside. And Jack says,
I fully resonate with that. Yeah, do you want to say what Jack says?
Yeah, what did you fully resonate with? Is that what you just said, Brigitte?
What you were saying resonates, and what Debbie was sharing as well, that it has to be from within.
Yeah.
Because when we do that, we are taking responsibility. And what has been preventing humanity from taking responsibility is we have been having the power of the authority over us, and we have validated it. We have accepted it without even giving it a second thought.
Yeah. So Jack says, yeah, that's right. I'm so very grateful to all the beautiful souls who have challenged me and facilitated his growth, my growth. And Debbie says, is basic to the Ho'oponopono approach. Oh, John says that. Yes, absolutely, John. I think that's really important. Ho'oponopono. I think we need to talk a little bit about that. Yeah. And
but my sense is you can engage in the Ho'oponopono outside with other people if you've really started feeling into your own kindness to yourself, listening to yourself.
Well, it's a
honoring, yourself, and that's huge, because often embodying how you're feeling is the last place we want to be, because we have the memories, the lineage memories of death, of burning, being burnt, being shut down, not being able to voice your truth. So and right now we're just on the cusp. Can we start voicing and standing and be responsible for what we hold, who we are?
What does John mean by Ho'oponopono? I think it's a particular process which is about forgiveness, isn't it? Asking forgiveness. Yeah.
It is, but to move into forgiving, you have first to witness. Can I witness?
It's asking forgiveness for yourself, for any
Can I witness what is happening within myself?
Can we do a Ho'oponopono to Boris, what's his name? Boris Johnson?
I have a feeling
or to Bill Gates.
Many people on the stage right now are role-playing. They have been asked to play a certain part of the stage. Act 1, Scene 1, Act 2, Scene 5, etc. And now we're on the last stage, like a Shakespeare play.
Could we do a Ho'oponopono for the puppet masters, the ones that are pulling Boris's strings and
well, I've got a feeling those who are pulling the strings, there is I'm going to call them the Divine Alliance. Without the Divine Alliance, we would not have reached this point right now.
You're going to call it is that the same as the Cabal, the Divine Alliance, or are they?
No. I'm talking about the ones who are not from this timeline, and who are really giving a huge helping hand to humanity.
Yeah.
Because if they hadn't, we might still be confronting the takeover of our planet.
Yeah, so Jack's saying, Ho'oponopono, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. So
yes,
should we say a collective Ho'oponopono for these people? Carol, hi. Oh my God, all the way from Canada. Big hugs. We'd love to have your wisdom here, Carol. We're just discussing. Yeah, big hugs to you. Carol's a lovely, lovely, beautiful sister.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Sharon. Yes, I know you're grounded. Wow, what a Taurian woman you make. I'm standing in my truth. I feel that if I feel sovereign, I am sovereign. And these rules, masks, and total nonsense don't even come into my field anymore. Yeah, I agree. I walked into Cheshire Police HQ yesterday, maskless, to a meeting talk to the commissioner about an issue important to me. It was only later I realized everyone else was masked. Yes, that's exactly what's happening, Sharon, with me. I walk in unmasked, and it has to do with standing absolutely in your truth. Then everything else in front of you, they have no leg to stand on. So
Yeah.
we need to gather that momentum, Sharon. Carol, love you both. I love you, Carol. Missing you. It's a long
Yeah.
time ago we met in a pub with lovely lunch. That was the first time I met you.
That's
What a
the
gift.
only time. That's the only time you've actually met Carol. So
Yeah.
for everyone here, Carol is one of my dearest friends, and Brigitte is my dearest friend, and they have their friendships that have happened in different parts of my life at different times, and finally we all met, and it was amazing. And then Carol's flown off to Canada and she can't come back, and Brigitte's in France and can't come back, and I can't go to Canada. Brigitte can't go to France, but here we all are. Isn't that amazing? And we're all doing the same work, the same healing, the same loving, trying to love life.
Yes.
Love it all up. Oh.
So, good evening. Hello, beautiful daughter, granddaughter, Abigail. I'm sorry, I've got an awful voice. Well, I've got a different voice, but I've got a
Wise ladies, we'll have to watch later. Busy night. Love you both. Abigail says.
Yes, a lot of the shops are saying they will not attempt to enforce masks. Yes, I'm walking in now with that mask. And John said, yes, I thought Seth had a lot of the truth. Yes. Yes.
Yes, I don't know. I don't know those teachings.
Well, Seth has to do with Isis and Osiris.
No, Seth. I think these are different teachings, Brigitte.
Oh, okay. Then I was referring it to Seth, Osiris, and Isis. No.
No.
Then I
So
don't know
are they channeled teachings? The ones about Seth, Debbie, or John, who knows about this? Because we were talking about forgiveness just now with Pono.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and yeah. So we're looking like, how can we transform what's going on out there that is so distressing, and elevate the consciousness of humanity? And what's the work we have to do inside ourselves in order to do that?
Yes, John, I totally agree. We can change the past by welcoming every strand and bringing the witness in us, the presencing, the felt sense, where is that in my body? And then the compassion for that part of ourselves. However young and before being born it is, as it even comes down into the ancestral lineage and gets into shock, this pure being of light. So, yes, the Ho'oponopono is so precious. But everything has its timing, I feel. There is no pushing to this process. Everything has to unfold. That's the divine feminine. That's the wisdom and the values of the feminine.
And
Everything has to unfold gently, softly, and then be held in that sacred vessel, crucible, however you want to name it. And then you have to weave. You weave the elements and you weave what's emerging.
yeah, and it's interesting how it's like if we're just present and we're listening to ourselves, then we know, we have an inner knowing about what's unfolding in this moment and what the timing is. And that I'm really amazed at how many times I get a sense of something, and then I'm listening to other people speaking on the internet, and we've all got to the same point in our understanding and how we're processing. And it's like we all, if we're listening carefully, we all know what this timing is. So this is really important to trust in that and to take the space just to sit and to be still and not to be trying to push the whole time. So Sharon says, by transforming our inner, by giving ourselves all we need, by dismantling and re-imprinting, by realizing all does have its time, and trust. I hope I read that correctly. My eyes are not that great. And Brigitte is now...
I'm back. No, I'm back.
You're occupied.
Sorry. So by transforming our inner, by giving ourselves all we need, by dismantling and re-imprinting, by realizing all does have its time and trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Debbie says, Jane Roberts channeled Seth in the 1960s and 70s, and the original transcripts are held in the archives of Yale University. And the largest looked at body, hang on, I keep losing it, body of physical information. Wow, I think I'm going to have to check that out. That's I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thread here, as we're talking about the Ho'oponopono, has to do with, sorry, I've got the hiccups now, is remembering. Remembering. It's remembering, because if we remember, we carry everything from the beginning of time. That's quite something, isn't it? And we are already co-creating the future. So there is no past, even though there is a past. And we're eternal beings. And that's quite something to take on, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's all much more fluid than we think when we're stuck in this 3D reality. But
Yes,
we are
so
eternal, multi-dimensional.
In fact, as we, Sorry, Juliet, I cut you.
No, it's okay. I'm just wondering, this is, our time is going very quickly, and we've got Carol here. I hope Carol's still here. Are you still here, Carol?
Yeah.
Give me a sign. I can't see you, but it would be really lovely if we could just be still. Just be still for a minute or so and just tune in. If Carol's not here, I'm sure she's here on some level.
Yeah.
So how about we just sit and we're still and
we
oh, beautiful. Yeah, let's just join together for a moment in this stillness and beingness, and just
just feel each other. Because we have been taken outside, let's just leave the veil and step within and feel each other.
And feeling our hearts and holding forgiveness, or asking for forgiveness for any transgressions that we've made in this process where we've been in pain and we've caused harm in some way. Maybe I upset my children or someone else when I was careless. Maybe I felt a lot of pain. Perhaps I was frightened. I'm just settling now in the possibility that all of that be healed. And there are multiple outcomes. And just holding love in my heart. Holding love in our hearts. And maybe we can't feel that, but just being with in this moment. And however we feel in this moment. Just offering it back forward, offering it up for healing. For myself and each other. And just floating an inquiry, which is, what is important for me now in this moment? What is important for humanity in this moment? Just allowing that wisdom, that understanding to be revealed to us. What is important to you about me? And this feeling into our hearts. And then whatever it is that is coming to us, whether we can just share that now in this moment, sharing that with everyone here. So Jack shares that he's deeply sorry for all the people he's inadvertently hurt. He's very sorry. So Anybody else like to share what, as you tuned in, what came up, what was important, what feels relevant in this moment for either yourself or humanity? No.
For me, it's about holding presence at the deepest level. And being holding the hand of those parts of me that were already programmed and ended up hurting others because of the hurt that had been perpetrated on me. And that even started within the womb. And that had nothing to do with a conscious act. So I feel we need to be compassionate to ourselves, as we have been programmed for thousands of years. But deep in our nature, as light beings, we are pure love.
Yeah.
We are pure love. And it matters to be mindful not to go with the church and that notion of have been shamed or have been pushed aside or been excluded for not sitting correctly in a classroom or not managing to learn my lesson, that kind of thing. Yes, just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Brigitte. Thank you. There's a little feedback on your mic. I think you need to go sit back slightly. Yeah, computer. So just giving space for anyone else who wants to share what might have come up for them when we were still. So Sharon says, finding empathy and deep compassion for both myself and others who I have hurt or been hurt by. So important, isn't it, what Brigitte was sharing about how we hurt when we're hurt, how we hurt others when we're hurt ourselves. Ensuring I maintain mindful discernment and keep healthy boundaries. Yeah, that's really important as well. Yeah. Brigitte, I don't know if those headphones will make it better or not. I think it's just because you came forward towards the mic and then there was...
Okay. Can you let me know? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Is it better?
It's fine now, yeah.
Okay, I've got the headphones. All right.
But I don't know if it will be better because when you move, the wires crackle.
Okay.
So it might be... Somebody create a studio for us. We don't have a bar to sit around. We just have this little, this is amazing technology, even if it's a bit kind of, if we're a little bit amateurish with it, it's still incredible, isn't it? And we have Carol here. Carol, what came up for you in that little tuning in? What were your insights? What's important? What's coming up in the moment? What's the most important thing for you or for humanity? What came up for me was feeling like the need for space, to give more space for things. I probably needed more time to go into that, to explore that further.
I feel for me it had to do with allowing, just recognizing that the child had to comply, obey, be wrapped in a kind of parcel that fitted in a family dynamic with 5 others. And yeah, then little by little, you look for refuge and you dissociate. Well, I dissociated. And then it takes a long time to come back home.
Come back to yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I call it home. To the core, to the authenticity, to what Sharon was saying, just being true to yourself, being sovereign. It's interesting, sovereignty has to do with wearing the crown. And the crown is a bit like a hat. When you have got a hat, it's like a protection, but it's as well, you belong. You are empowering yourself. There's no one above you. So yes, I hear Sharon ensuring you maintain a mindful discernment and keep healthy boundaries. Yes, healthy boundaries are really, yeah, they don't have to be harsh. They can be very soft. They can be like a whisper, can't they? They can be like the wind brushing, a leaf falling down. I remember when I was in my 30s and I was dealing with huge amount, and sometimes I would just couldn't cope. I was overwhelmed, and I'd get into anger, but then it would flare and come back down. Then there would be big hugs, and I didn't mean it. I'm really sorry. So there was always that. And when I'd get abused or put down, I could forgive on the moment. There was that part in me that knew innately that what was being perpetuated was just happening through that person. So I never attached any blame on that person. Don't get me wrong, it hurt, but it is about something else. Have I frozen?
No.
Oh, have you frozen, Juliet? Yes, Sharon, love and peace to all. And Carol, you're radiant in your authenticity. Yeah, we're doing our best in spite. Yeah, I feel the cold came in for me because I feel that the resolution is happening. I have had dream visions, but I can't reveal them. Where things are going to be flowing differently. And it's just like my whole body can just feel, yeah, at last. And it's like what I've carried, it's okay. I don't have to carry it anymore.
Well, that's really huge.
Yes, and that's what is coming through. I'm feeling the burn in my heart, the grief in my heart, grief in my belly. It's right down to the bones. But the beautiful thing that I'm seeing as well is when I was a child and I couldn't help. I couldn't because, yeah, it just was not the moment. So sometimes it's not the moment when we can even say the Ho'oponopono. I forgive myself. I forgive you, and I'm sorry, and I love you. Sometimes we can't even start saying those words because we feel too raw. We feel like someone has just taken the skin off. And we just have to be tender with ourselves. So just have my sharing on that piece of the Ho'oponopono. Yeah. And my feeling is right now is, can we just feel moment by moment and honor where we're at So Juliet, back to you.
Back to me.
If you want to.
Well, sometimes it's like I get into wanting to make a difference, and there's only so much you can do, and then feeling like I don't have the energy to do anything else. And then it's surrendering. It's like, okay, how to take time out in this moment, how to be at peace with whatever is showing up in this moment, how to be at peace with it. And I'm astounded how things can change from being like it so intense and then it all lifts within seconds. That's incredible. It's like those skies that suddenly, those thunderstorms that come from nowhere, and it's absolutely deep and dark, and then they're finished and the sun comes out again.
Yeah.
That's a bit how it's been for me recently.
I deeply resonate with that sharing. Yes, and the storm is in my belly. Yes, because we're moving towards the midwinter celebration. And this year I can't travel. I mean, apart from seeing my lovely daughter in France and granddaughter. So it's huge what's being asked. It's, yes, we're taken to the edge of, staying aligned in that place of being silent with that seed that's just going to start sprouting, the seed of the new earth. And it's like we're not given the okay to go wild with Christmas and whatever. For so many of us, Christmas or midwinter is meant. I've never been wild for Christmas. It's always been a very quiet time, often. But it's such a profound time, isn't it? Because it's the time of the heart, the expansion of the heart. And can we just create space for that heart to encompass and fold just a little bit more this time? That's what I would love to hold for this Christmas. Just to embrace just a little bit more. And the joy of what is unfolding. As well as the sadness of missing loved ones.
As well as the horror of what's unfolding as well.
Oh yes, that's the grief I'm carrying. I've carried it since I was before being born. I saw the horrors when I was in my mother's womb. So
I had to address all these levels simultaneously.
yes, and we all carry those levels. Don't think or feel that what I'm carrying is greater than what you're carrying. No. We've all carried tremendous amount of what I would say felt sense wisdom from ancestral lineages. Some of us are in touch with it, and some of us don't. And yes, I'm in touch as well with what is happening in other timelines. That's been given me, but what's been given me as well is not to speak about it until it was the right time. So that's quite something, isn't it?
I get a sense that you're feeling like, oh wait, you've blown your nose.
I've unmuted again.
Oh, you muted for that nose blow. That's very good. Very good. So yes, I get a sense that that you're feeling more hopeful about the future, Brigitte?
Oh, yes. I don't go with the storylines anymore, but I feel at a deep level what humanity has been through. Below the earth, on the earth, and in other timelines.
How, just before we finish, we're coming up to the hour. How do people here, Therese and Sharon and Carol and Jack and Julie,
Debbie and Julie and beautiful Carol says that is serenity.
yes.
Yes.
What's your sense now as we go forward? Are you feeling despair? Are you feeling despairing about what's happening, or is there any kind of positivity around how you're feeling? As you know, what's your anticipation for the future, even though it's like really, really intense in this moment? So, yeah. What's her name? Bracha, the astrologer. She's so.
Oh, Braca.
Bracha. Oh, yes.
Braca. When she channels the Pleiadians, yes, it is a time of, yes, there's going to be contractions because of the square between Saturn and Uranus. But we've known that. We've already experienced that. But this is really to show humanity two faces, two facets of we're going to need both. We're going to need a different relationship between both. The vision and the need for more freedom, but we're going to need as well the structure with a new vision. So we need to have that as well. And it's very contracted because we are at the end and the boundaries have been really enforced in all the countries because of what is unfolding that's not been revealed to the open, because it would be far too shocking to be revealed. So some of us know what has been unfolding from a very early age, because we have needed to hold that and keep that in the field, that this will resolve. So I have been holding that since very young, but I have been holding as well the faith, the trust, and the alignment more and more. So when you're saying, are we moving with, how are we moving with that? Well, if we can go back to the alignment of authenticity, whatever that is, even if authenticity is just falling apart, that's a gift. Because it means you're not pretending.
Yeah. So Therese says that she has a sense that she really needs to stand in her truth in the coming months.
Yeah. That absolutely resonates, Therese. This is absolutely the key codes. And John, you feel more and more positive as things get darker. Yes, they're being revealed. That's wonderful. That's wonderful because it's asking you to show, to witness, to hold presence, to offer spaciousness more with yourself as you shine that light. You shine that light of consciousness, witnessing, presencing. And let's be gentle, because we've had 2.5 years of everything collapsing. So this is Pluto. Pluto's energy is about breaking the old so the new can be born. It's death and rebirth.
Definitely. Okay? Jack says he's still very optimistic. We need to pass through this challenging time before we emerge into the new earth.
Still, earth still very.
Yeah.
Yes, Jack. Yes. Yes. It is like there is a surrendering process that needs to happen. I speak now as the elder. There is a process of witnessing, of aligning, but a surrendering with conscious witnessing and feeling, a felt sense of what is happening as I'm embodying more of who I am. Step by step, moment by moment. So Jack, emerge
Carol
into the new earth.
the territory is so new that it feels totally unknown, so that can be frightening. But I do feel the light is infiltrating so much of what has been hidden for so long. The light is building and we are breaking through to a new horizon. It is within reach now. Well, I'm getting shivers, Carol, as I read that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And then
if we can visualize the light, okay, at the end of that tunnel, that we are emerging. It's like the dragonfly coming out of the cocoon. She's still in the dark. She doesn't know she's completely melting. The dragonfly melts as she's changing form.
Yeah.
So this is where we're at right now. And we're starting to see the light as we're emerging. And we're shedding the old husk. So it is definitely a death, but we're coming into the sun. And the sun is going to dry our wings.
Oh, that's
We're
beautiful.
going to fly. We're going to fly. Well, we are light beings. The universe is our playfield. Yes, emerge into the new earth, Jack. And Carol, when we radiate our unique frequency into the world, with all we are and all we do, our loved ones can find us. Yes, our tribe. That's beautiful, Carol, because then we are in the law of the universe. I met beautiful Julie recently, and I've met Abigail, I've met Jack, I've met John, I've met you, Carol, I've met Debbie, and I've met the beautiful man, and who is not there tonight to joke.
Graham, where is Graham?
Graham, yes, who is not here tonight. So beautiful people. I'm going to have to leave you. I'm sorry, I've got another Zoom call.
Yeah, so just hold one another in the light. We will get through this together.
Thank you for being here. I bless each one, and I really hold presence with each one of you.
Loads of love to you all. And without us starting another conversation, which we're very good at the end, is that
Julie,
we are still going to do a raffle for the tractor. So, Brigitte has jumped off. So we will tell you about the raffle next week. Okay, loads of love, and thank you so much to everyone. Oh, loads of love to you. Blessings to all. So be well. I hope the week goes well for you all, and lots of love. Speak to you soon. Bye.